Chud was saying yesterday that he's already seen improvements in Brandon's mechanics. Have you seen the same thing over the last?
I think his basic mechanics, I think what Chud's talking about, his basic mechanics aren't going to change a great deal, but I think he's got more of a sense of urgency, and I think he's playing faster than he has, and that comes with doing the same things over and over again, and that comes with having a little bit better understanding of what he's doing.
The players who are here last year, do they have to unlearn a lot from to take on in your offense?
I don't think so, because I really this is pretty normal for what happens in the NFL, and you know, there's some players that have a new system, have had a new system 3-4 years in a row. You know, there's a lot of things that every team in this league does, and then there's some things that are unique to, you know, what we do. So I think they've handled it real well, and they're young enough that I don't think anything is really, any of these guys, anything is really ingrained in them in terms of what they've done.
Norv, how does Josh Gordon's suspension impact your plan for training camp in the preseason and what you have to do with other guys?
You know, you get so many reps in training camp. I don't think it is a factor in what we'll do. You know, you always get the guys you have ready, and we're gonna, whether we have 5 receivers active or 6 receivers active, you have to get them all ready to play. And you know, we've all been in situations where a guy turns an ankle the Friday before your opening game, and and you don't have him available, and you don't, you know, call the game off, you go play. So we've got enough guys to get him ready to play, and we'll get Josh ready to play, so he's ready when he comes back.
At the end of minicamp, Chud was asked about the fullback position. He said, "We don't know much until they start hitting." Is that one of the things to unravel, a key thing on how you're going to utilize a fullback or compensate for no fullback?
Yeah, the beauty of this offense, I think, is that it's versatile enough that you can have success with the players you have. We've used a variety of different styles of fullback and have been very productive. And I can go back all the way into the mid-90s where you know, we had a converted tailback playing fullback with the Redskins, and Terry Allen rushed for 1,500 yards. So we're going to make do with it. We're going to take the guys we have and find out what they do best and give them a chance to do that. So you know, we will end up, I believe we'll end up with a traditional fullback in our offense. How much we use them will depend on the style of offense we end up running.
Can Chris Obanaya fulfill that role?
He can do some of it. He can do some of it. You know, he's similar to the guy I was talking about back in Washington.
Norv, can Jordan Cameron be the tight end in the role of your offense? I mean, your tight ends have always succeeded very well. And could he be that guy in this system?
You know, I think you project. You look at all the different players we have. And I look at Greg Little. You look at Josh Gordon. You look at Bess. You look at Benjamin. You look at Jordan Cameron. And I always look at what you hope they can become. Now, I don't control that. Sometimes they don't control it, but they have a hell of a lot better control of it than I do. We're going to give them opportunity. We're going to give Jordan an opportunity to be that guy. Now, let's put it in his hands. Is he capable of being that guy? That's why you go to camp. That's why you go play the games. You know, and everyone wants to project and say what these guys are going to be. The game is still played on the field. You know, guys compete in practice to get an opportunity to play in the games, and then we get to find out how they match up and, you know, do against pretty good competition.
How much did it hurt Trent, maybe learning your system that he wasn't here for all of minicamp, wasn't on the field for all of minicamp?
You know, I think the running back position is a little bit unique, and those guys rely so much on their physical skills, their natural ability. You know, I think he can overcome the time he missed. He's sharp. The mental part of it wasn't a problem. He'll get reps. He'll get his share of reps. You know, and the best runners I've been around, you know, they start off and stay within the system, and then they let their natural ability do a lot of the damage, or their natural ability is the reason for a lot of their success.
Do you have to hold back on him at all? Norv, I know he's healthy right now, but you know, he takes a beating sometimes. Do you have to pull back on him some during this
Well, I don't
training
think
camp?
he'll take a beating in our training camp practice. You know, I think coach and our trainers and our doctors, I think they have put together a really good plan for Trent. I think he's going to get as much work as he needs to get ready, and then we'll make sure he's fresh and healthy. But he's going to get his share of the work in this camp. Like every player, I said, what I started this whole thing off with, you know, you have to put a lot of time in. It takes a lot of work to get ready to play in this league, and he needs to go through the same process everyone else does.
Norv, historically, the teams you've been at, your premier ball carrier has averaged about 300 carries a season, 300 carries. Is that changing with the times, or was that going to hold true this year?
You know, obviously the trend in the league is to not do that, but you know, I think it depends on your team and everyone around it. And if that player is your best player, then I think it's probably a good thing to have him in the game, give him the ball. So I would hope Trent would have that many carries. That means he's playing healthy and playing at a pretty high level if we give him the ball that much.
Hey Norv, in terms of natural ability that you talked about before, does he stack up with any running back you've been around?
You know, it's just watching him and seeing him against us when I was in here and whenever that was, October, and then watching the tape. Yeah, he's that type of runner. You know, obviously you're the third pick in the draft. I think he's got a lot of great days ahead of him. You know, I always have a problem comparing players because I think each guy has his own unique style and is his own guy. But I think he's capable of doing great things.
You have a lot of different backs that you can mix and match with. I mean, do you anticipate giving a lot of them the ball this year?
Yeah, you know, that's again, I think Rob has done as good a job of that as anybody, of being versatile and doing a lot of different things. And then that's what our system is based on, trying to get as many people involved. I tell our guys in the meeting room, I'd like to have 16 starters on offense. You'd like to have a lot of guys feel like when the ball's kicked off on Sunday, they're going to have a chance to help your team win. And we want to find out what our guys can do, and then give them a chance to do it.
What's been your experience with quarterbacks in their second year? Is that when they really can make a kind of a quantum leap?
To me, it's totally based on the number one, the guy, and then the situation he's in. And you know, so many people get caught up in where a guy is. It's a lot of it's dependent on the situation he's put in, the offensive line, the playmakers around him, how good a defensive football team you have. There's so many things that go into it. But you know, I think Brandon is fortunate. He's had the experience of starting 14 games in this league. That's a you know, a plus when you start working with a player who hasn't played a lot. And then you know, I think he's taken to what we're doing, and you know, I expect him to play at a high level. You know, and this system is really a quarterback-friendly system. And I know guys look to a year and say, well, this guy, you know, in this system had this many turnovers or whatever. But I go all the way back to Jim Everett. I go guys that people forget. We had Gus Verrott go to the Pro Bowl in '96. Trent Green had a breakout year in '98. Brad Johnson took us to a playoff win and threw for 4,000 yards in '99. I can go on. Alex Smith in 2006. We've had a lot of quarterbacks play at an awful high level, and we've had some guys not have great years in this system because that's part of this league. But I think the system's proven. I think our players are buying into it, and I think our fans will enjoy watching what we do because you know, we want to be productive, we want to be explosive, we want to score points, and that's obviously why you come to games.